35, 40,000, went over just so they could say we were there for when Ricky Hatton fought Floyd Mayweather, and it was just such a contrast of personalities, because obviously Floyd, was talking about his bling and how much his watch was worth and how much his chain was worth and how much was this was worth, and I was just a Jack the lad. I mean, that's why the fans like me, so for where the question first started off, how you've got, about selling yourself and like that, it's funny because I didn't need to sell myself. There was no social media back then or anything like that. I just did it on, what people saw of me on the TV when it was being interviewed and like that. They thought, he's a Manchester lad, just council estate lad. No airs, no graces, doesn't slag anyone off, He goes to the pub and has a pint and plays darts and goes watching Man City and stands on the terrace with a pie and a pint, stuff like that. And the fans could relate to me.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have to sell myself. The fans were just like, we'll go and watch him, he's one of us, isn't he? He's just like, and that's where my fan base came from. It wasn't anything I was necessarily saying or doing, it was just, I just bid myself, which I feel very proud of you.
Yeah, well, it's the best way to do it. And also, if you can be yourself and get that large an audience, or get a much larger audience than other people, absolutely. I guess the contrast, as you said, between you and like a Mayweather is just so obvious that creates a very natural conflict there. I mean, the rivalry between the two of you, was that real, or was it sort of put on, emphasised?
No, I don't think it was put on. I think I was just like doing what I normally do, just being my everyday self. The kid next door, the lad off the council estate, and like that. And Floyd was just being his usual dickhead self, wasn't it? So Floyd was just being, he come from the equivalent, and I never get there. I mean, everyone to their own, and I feel amazingly proud to have said that I've boxed Floyd Mayweather. And I think what he's done since he boxed me, would probably arguably go down as probably the greatest, of all time. So for me to actually be in a fight like that, it was I'll always be eternally grateful. But I think we made each other. I just been myself and he just been myself. But we come from the same, I think they call them the projects in the States, don't they?
Like an equivalent backgrounds.
Yeah, the equivalent. And I think to myself, I'm sometimes scared of driving my car down the council estate on Hattersley, where I was born, where Floyd will be in an interview and he's boasting about how much his watch is and how much his chain is and like that. And I think, to be honest, the people from the projects or the council estates where can't put the electric on, can't put the heating on, can't put food on the table for the kids, will never have a holiday their whole life.
Yeah.
Would they be proud of someone like Floyd going by, hey, look at me watch, look at me this, look at me that?
Yeah.
It was a total opposite to me. So in one respect, we didn't have to do each other. It was like the kid next door against the villain, and we worked, and that's why it sold so well. I don't think we put anything on. We were just being our same. We were just so different.
I guess that's quite like a British versus an American thing as well, isn't it? Like similar equivalent backgrounds, but it still produces a very different person in each scenario.
Yeah. And I got my, I'd be always appreciative and thankful for Floyd giving me the opportunity, because it changed my life, changed my family's life and my kids' life and, my kids' kids, and to fight someone and being a fight as big as that against Floyd Mayweather. So I'd always be eternally grateful for. I just think to myself, what I stand for, I'd have a picture of everyone, I'd make time for everyone. I'd speak to the kids and say, listen, work hard at school, do this. And I'm not saying Floyd doesn't do that, but I think, there'd be people at home with not a pot to pee in I think wherever in his hometown when he's born. Yeah. And I think, would they be made up and proud, seeing someone flash the finances about, when here's us working every hour that God sends, we can't even put food on the table, and look at him, I don't know. I just think it may,
come across as a bit vulgar, can't it? Quite easily.
Yeah, especially when you come from. You want to be saying, look where I've come from. I come from, and you can do it as well. Yeah. Not look at me watch, look at me this. I think it's shocking.
What was your biggest ever payday?
Oh, I don't want to say. I can't turn around and say exactly.
Okay.
How much it was.
Why can't you?
It was Floyd Mayweather fight, which goes without saying. Because one. It was good to be able to negotiate, to say, listen, when we sat down at the negotiating table, and Floyd's the best, you know what I mean, the pound for pound and this, that and all the rest of it. But, you know, hang on a minute, you know, I'm bringing 40,000 over, you know, 35,000, 40,000 over to here. Come on, what's that, you know what I mean, you know. And, it, you know, and because of my fan base, you know, it certainly did help, you know, when it comes to the negotiating table and that. But
do you feel like you got paid fairly for that?
Yeah, I've absolutely no complaints whatsoever, to be honest with you. But they did it all right. Mayweather Promotions, the Golden Boy Promotions. At the time, there was a 24/7 program, which was they followed Floyd and they followed me out for 4 weeks in the build up to the fight, so people could get to know us a little bit better, see what made us tick, what we did on a daily basis, and everything like that. And then we're, you know, like I said earlier, because we were so opposites, he was like, I was the good guy and Floyd was like the villain, so that worked. That sold the fight, you know, in its own right. You know, if we had, it was like the goodie versus the baddie type, you know, type thing. Yeah. But no, it was, you know, the Floyd Mayweather was always one. He was unbeaten, you know what I mean, and he was the best pound for pound fighter in the world. He was the welterweight champion. I was the unbeaten light welterweight champion. That fight is gonna sell, and it was, you know, it was like, you know, England versus America to chuck into the frying pan as well. You know what I mean? It's always going to be the best one.
If you enjoyed this and want to watch my full interview with Ricky, you can do so right here.